Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Ripple XRP and also Stellar Lumens XLM, and we're going to be talking about the price eruption that we could very well see not only on these two assets but also on the entire crypto market. And why is that? Because of the Fed pivoting. Now you might be wondering, why will they pivot? Well, let's actually talk about a few things. So first off, this article got posted 12 hours ago. We do see a $46 trillion wipeout in stocks and bonds won't stop until central banks around the world launch a coordinated pivot, Bank of America says. Now, of course, here are a few of the pinpoints from this. Markets stop panicking when central banks start panicking, but BOJ/Bank of England panics not yet credible nor coordinated. And we do see over here, the bank doesn't expect the bleeding to stop until the Fed launches a coordinated dovish pivot with other central banks. And of course, they do talk about the $46 trillion that did get wiped out. Now, when we actually take a look at this, we just seen this happen over in the UK. And when we take a look at things happening within this current market, this could be very beneficial for the upside. And you might be wondering why. Well, first off, let's talk about why we believe that the Fed might pivot. Well, first off, here is a tweet from Crypto Weatherman, and he's quoting Crypto Vinco. This is talking about just an emergency Federal Reserve meeting announced for Monday, October 3rd. And we do see up here, I think I have been the only person advocating strongly about the Federal Reserve will pivot. I wonder what this unscheduled schedule or sunshine meeting is. That government can't afford their bills with high rates. That the Fed is collapsing global currencies. That higher rates are unnecessary. What do you see down here? And this is quoting the what happened over in the Bank of England, essentially pivoting. And we do see down here the U.S. is next, and I do believe that they are. And the reason why I talk about why this is beneficial for crypto is because a strong dollar equals weak risk on assets like crypto and also stocks, and a weak dollar equals a very strong market in regards to crypto and also stocks. And we do see over here the dollar is about to collapse. This is your last chance to buy assets before your buying power is destroyed. The XRP is my golden ticket out of fiat. And this is also a post from Anthony Pompliano, which I did include in my video from the other day. This is that chart that I talked about. And we do see the US dollar versus all other major currencies out there, like for an example, the Japanese yen, the British pound, euros, Australian dollars, and even Canadian dollars. And right now, as we do speak, the US dollar is still pretty strong. But the reason why I bring up the US dollar is because you could definitely see how overreached it is in regards to the chart. And this is the big thing that I want to talk to you guys a little bit about. So here's the US dollar, and here is the total. This is crypto's market cap, comparing it to the US dollar's value. So I take you all the way back to 2014. So here you guys have March of 2014. Now during this time, the US dollar, went on a massive parabolic run, and it did run for a while, all the way up until about January of 2017. Now this is when the bull run of 2017 and 2018 ignited. You do see the massive cascading drop on the US dollar, and what do you do see in regard to the total? Well, you do see the total absolutely go parabolic, topping out back in December of 2017, right before the US dollar fully bottomed out. And again, yeah, sure, this is great to see, but ultimately, guess what? It started to gain momentum, pushing us into a bear market. Now, during this time, all the way up until around March of 2020, when you do see the bottom being put in officially on the total's bottom during the bear market was essentially back in January of 2019, but we also did see a massive cascading move back in March of 2020. And you also do see the dollar not only going parabolic, but also having a massive sell-off, closing out the month pretty neutral though. And it did kind of continue to rise a little bit, but ultimately it did sell off. Now, during that entire sell-off, you do see what happened with the total going absolutely parabolic this time around. And you do see the bottoming point for the US dollar being around January of 2021, but it did kind of trade within this area for a while, letting, of course, crypto go on a massive bull run as well as stocks, with crypto essentially, topping back in October/November of 2021. And I had the argument point that crypto essentially actually topped out back in May. And I know that to some people that might not seem likely, but that is the likely scenario in my opinion, of course, but we've talked about that in the past. But nonetheless, you could definitely see the correlation here. And with us topping, and you also do see the dollar during this time gaining some massive momentum, you do see where we are now, currently. And the reason why I actually look at this almost on a daily view now is I'm waiting for the US dollar to actually fully, top out. Now, a lot of people have argued where the top for the US dollar could essentially be. In fact, I've actually looked at this, and I do believe that we could see a topped out dollar at around the top up here, which would be, so let me actually change this from, let me just change this from the pricing to regular instead of percentages. So here you guys have 120, aka $1.20. That's the point that I'm actually looking at right now for the US dollar to fully top out. We ran up all the way to about like $1.15. And again, there's not a lot of resistance back here on the macro chart there, but where is all of the resistance is about $1.20. That's the big area up here that I'm watching for a massive 180 turnaround on the US dollar to not only push us into a ignited bull run, but also for a lot of these assets to go absolutely crazy. Now, a lot of people have actually done predictions on Bitcoin's next major move, which, like I said, if you look at the comparison here on, for example, Bitcoin, and I know that when we talk about Bitcoin, a lot of people don't really like me bringing up Bitcoin, but at the end of the day, Bitcoin is the king still in this market. And let me actually go to, let me make sure that this is actually fixed. So let me go to the, I think it was this one, so no scale. There we have it. So here you guys have Bitcoin. Again, Bitcoin's correlation to the US dollar is no different than just the entire market. Again, a strong dollar equals a weak Bitcoin. Nobody really wants to put their money in Bitcoin during this time, unless you are extremely intelligent to see that the dollar is extremely overvalued. But you could also see exactly where we are now, comparing it to in the past with Bitcoin. A lot of people will continue to say, hey, we are not, bottomed out on Bitcoin. But in my opinion, I do believe that we actually are. And the reason why I say that is because the US dollar looks like it is going to near its topped out point. And like I said, a lot of people have been doing some predictions over on Twitter, and they have a lot of things to back it up. For example, over here, Stock Money Lizards. Very interesting name, but nonetheless, it says Bitcoin is doing Bitcoin things, and we do see a comparison all the way back to 2019, which does include the March of 2020 bottom as well, or I think that this doesn't actually. This doesn't provide an insight on the March of 2020 drop. This is actually 2019 during the 2019 timeframe. But you could definitely see where it was during that time as well. You do see the double bottom, the final washout 50%. And you also do see over here the 1, 2, 3, the base 1, the base 2 as well. And you do see the final washout being about negative 40%, which is the current chart now with the double bottom. And if this is the double bottom, then we are going to continue to rise up all the way into 2023, hitting $50,000 plus for Bitcoin. And again, this is not the only analyst that actually looks at this like that. Credible Crypto, which I did include in a video just recently as well, talks about Bitcoin's next major moves, and they could essentially be to the impulsive wave 5 move all the way to $100,000 plus. And we do see over here, while we have gone lower than expected in terms of price, macro invalidation hasn't been hit, $14,000. And time-wise, we are still right on track for our 5th wave. Despite what it may seem time-wise, wave 4 correction is proportional to third wave, just as wave 2 was to the first wave Bitcoin. And again, this essentially will tell us if we are bottomed out or not on Bitcoin. Invalidation would be about $14,000 being targeted. In my opinion, it doesn't really kind of make sense to go down much lower on Bitcoin. I mean, currently right now, I think that we are trading at, actually can look it up at the chart right now. So when we actually look at Bitcoin currently, we are trading at about like 19.3K. On the 1 month, you could see this, support zone that we've been looking at around like 19.19K. It's basically 20K. It looks like that has officially been broken. I mean, hey, are we going to go much lower from here and test about like, 14K or so? I would say it's unlikely, but I could see if we are going to double bottom like this tweet over here, this double bottom, we could see technically a run back down to about like 17.6K before having that spring to the upside, which could be a possibility that we do see on Monday, but it all depends on what the Fed is going to do. I'm still very excited about the future of Bitcoin, especially if we are going off of the current fib levels. If this is our bottom, which I think it is, then the upside from here is going to be very interesting, with our last 1.618 fib level being about $100,000. After that, it is about 120. And if we wanted to look at this on the log scale, we could see this. I don't know why it's not doing log scale. Let me check if this is actually on log scale, because that would change it. So yeah, here's the log scale. There we go, guys. Sorry about that. So let me actually change this back down to here. Let me put this on log scale. So here is the 1.618. This would be about $160,000, which a lot of people do get their price predictions from. The bare minimum up here is about the 1272, which would be about $100,000, and anywhere between that and 160 is more than welcome to me, at least. I mean, and right now, if we look at Bitcoin, I mean, yeah, not a lot of people are going to be buying this. If you are in retail, it's $19,000 during, essentially a recession or the start of a recession. So again, a lot of people don't actually have the residual income to buy Bitcoin right now, but it doesn't mean that you can't buy altcoins like XRP and XLM. Why is XRP and XLM about to have a massive parabolic move? Well, one, we have been seeing a lot of updates around XRP and XLM in regards to community growth, as well as a lot of catalyst events around XRP doing a massive move as well. And the reason why I bring up XRP and XLM in the same conversation is we do know that at one point in time, XLM was a fork of XRP. They move almost identically to each other. You go and look at so this is on the 1 month span. This goes on the macro level here. And you do see the percentage factors over here. So XRP is up about 5,992%. And this is on macro, by the way. XLM is up about 4,194%. I know that doesn't seem like a lot, but if you actually zoom out and you actually look here, I mean, if it was the actual scale, so let me see if we can get this to the actual scale. So there you guys have it. So this is the actual scale on XLM. Again, I could kind of move this around if you want, but we're going to do no scale, and this is basically where it should be. Which is, again, right around the same range. I mean, like, XLM and XRP are trading right around the same range of about negative 3% or so difference here. But you could definitely see why I say that XLM follows XRP. It lags right behind it slightly. You did see XRP kind of making a little bit of a breakout here. It is at resistance, which is macro resistance. XLM trailing right behind it slightly, but you could see the topping point. So here is XRP's topping point. Here's XLM's topping point. Again, same month, same time frame. Even during the SEC sell-off, the SEC sell-off had XLM also sell off. XRP started to pump out, so did XLM, and they both topped out around the same range. They started to fall at the same range. They built a floor at the same range. They pumped at the same range, and so forth. They continue to do the same exact moves, going all the way back to 2017 and 2018 as well. This is why I say with all of the bullish events that XRP actually has right now behind it, like, for example, the XRP lawsuit basically ending, which if you guys haven't watched my other videos, I highly address you go and look at them. It is very interesting around this lawsuit. But also when we actually look at XRP on the monthly chart here and we go to the macro viewpoint on it, and we look at where we can go into the next major cycle, if we do see, and like I say, if we do see a major settlement, some of these higher price targets like, $8, $13, or possibly even $26 could become a reality. My, main point here and my major target for XRP into the next major cycle is this range here. It's a lot more conservative than the $26 range, and again, it makes sense for this to be targeted nonetheless. And like I said, if XRP, or I should say XLM, is going to follow XRP going off of these nice June lows, this would be about a 45x opportunity, about a 4,500% run. Now again, and by the way, real quick, before I actually go into the next major chart here, I just want to share with you guys off of the November 20 lows to the topping point, and I know that we can go technically off of the March of 2020 lows as well. Either way, it doesn't really matter. This is about a 1,600% run. The only reason why I bring this up is because I actually want to show you XLM during that time as well. So XLM during this time, during March of 2020, all the way to its topping point, You know, this did about a 2,600 or almost a 2,900 move, almost a 3,000% move. So XLM actually has a little bit better price moves in it compared to XRP simply because it is lower in price. The reason why I bring this back up is because if we are going off of our current price here, and if we're talking about like a 45x opportunity run on XRP, you know, we could easily double that, and we could run to $8 as well if we do have the outreaches on XRP. And during this time, XLM will also have a similar run, which would be about an 8,600% run on XLM. This would be astronomical if we did see it. Again, my dead set targets are between like $2.50 to about $4, and they always have been on XLM, which this would also be about a 40x opportunity run on XLM, which is still very exciting and life-changing wealth if you invest properly. So again, this is why I have been watching these two assets, is because, and it's not only these two, I've been watching the entire crypto market, because if this is the case, if we are about to see the Fed pivot, and if we are about to see the US dollar do a 180 turnaround, we are also going to see Bitcoin start to do a massive trajectory run. And if that is the case, we're going to be targeting some of these major high levels here, and we are possibly going to run to about 160K. But again, I'm dead set on these two areas, the 100K to 120K area on Bitcoin. So with all of that in mind, I hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys have more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. It's always up to you all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. It's been Nick. Peace out, guys.